I always think that's so funny, recording in progress. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of the challenge. And today is actually a good day to go through a better feeling thought. Because the people that are on here with me live have just said that they're not actually feeling so great. And so we're going to go through how can you make yourself feel better no matter what the outside circumstances are. We spoke a little bit about it on day 1, but we spoke more about it on day 1 in terms of energy in general. Today, I want to talk a bit more about what happens when things come from the outside. And I want to introduce you to a technique that I learned from one of my, I would say, mentors, guides. Her name is Gabrielle Bernstein, and she has written several books on manifesting, on energy, on how to put yourself in a better mood. She has written several books, of which I have read, I think, all of them, and I can really recommend her. So if this is something that you want to look into further, I can really recommend you looking into her work. And one of the books she has, for example, is The Universe Has Your Back, or the other one is Super Tractor. And they're very easy reads, and they're especially very nice on Audible as well. And one of the things she says is that your energy creates your reality. So the way we feel is also what we attract. So that is why it's not only important to feel good in order to feel good, but in order to manifest the things we want into our lives, we need to come from a good energy space, and we need to experience as much joy as we can. So that's why today I'm going to talk about generally changing the energy. And then in the next couple of days, one of these days, I'm going to speak about how to walk. Remember that we spoke about walking with joy and sadness at the same time. So that's what I'm going to be talking about one of these next days. So that good feeling energy is what creates all your desires. It's what creates all of the things that you want come from a good energy space. So when you want to manifest things, you need to be an energetic match for what you want. So meaning, for example, if you want to experience love and romance, right? Like I spoke about this a couple of days ago in very short form, but how I attracted the love of my life and really this like Hollywood romance relationship is that I tapped into the energy of romance. So I started looking at movies, I started doing all these things, and I did all of that completely subconsciously because I wanted it so much that my subconscious just pushed me in that direction, but I didn't do any of this like, oh, I better watch a romantic movie so I can manifest the love of my life, right? I was actually in a place where I had a relationship and I wasn't in love, but I was profoundly happy and I was grateful for what I had. So tapping into this energy of moving myself into a space where I would experience love, romance, joy, and all of these things is that at the beginning I did it subconsciously, and then I started doing it more consciously. Like I was like, okay, what is the kind of relationship I want to have? How can I experience more romance with my partner? And then what happened is my intention was initially, and this is one of the things that's also very important when it comes to manifesting, is you can set an intention, but the how is open to the universe. You cannot control the how of what it will happen, and you cannot control of what will be delivered. So the how and the what is not up to us, that is up to the universe. And I learned this because my intention was, if I shift my energy and if I shift myself, so if I change myself and the way I am, then my relationship with my partner at the time is going to improve. But what happened was that I started walking and he walked somewhere else. So at the end of the day, I developed somewhere and I attracted a new partner into my life that was an energetic match for that. And he walked somewhere and he attracted a new partner in his life that was an energetic match for that. So that doesn't, and now we're both happy and everything is great and amazing, right? So, but the point was that we both developed in different directions and we both changed our energetic frequency and we both called in something else into our lives. And now my former partner, he was not into energetics at all. He was not into meditating, manifesting, all of these things. So he did it 100% subconsciously. For me, at the beginning, it was subconsciously, and then I started doing it more consciously as soon as I realized what I was doing and how I was doing it. So when we are coming back to how do we shift that energy, as I said, I want to introduce you to the method of Gabrielle Bernstein. And when we want to shift our energy, there are 3 steps for this, and they're very simple. Okay, so I want you to write this down, and I want you to write it down somewhere where you can access it easily, because this is an exercise that is super easy, super fast, and switches your energy really quickly. I love to use this one, besides the ones that I've already told you before on day 1 and that I will repeat again today. So the first thing is when you have energy of negativity or fear or like low vibing emotions are above all fear, jealousy, tiredness as well is also one that's an energy that's really not good. And the first step is to actually notice what is the thought that is going on. So become aware, what is the thought that is happening? Like, I'm afraid of my future. I'm afraid for my health. I'm afraid that my partner will leave me. I'm afraid I will never find love. I'm afraid whatever, usually it's fear. Okay, 90% of the times it's fear what we're dealing with. Sometimes it can also be anger or sadness of something happening outside. Like me, for example, I'm sometimes very sad, and when I'm confronted with the illness of my father, like it makes me really sad. And then I need to process that and turn it into a better feeling thought, because it doesn't serve me and it doesn't serve my dad if I'm sad or negative or have fear for him or whatever. It's better to be positive around him in order to support him. So you need to ask yourself, what are you feeling right now? And what are the thoughts that are coming up? And you can do this either through just noticing it and being aware of it. What you can also do, what helps, and it would help me in the beginning, is to actually write it down, because it's easier to notice it when you actually take the time to write it down. And this process, by the way, this whole 3-step process doesn't take more than 5 minutes. So you can write it down. So ask yourself, how do you feel? How do I feel right now? What is the fear that I'm dealing with? And writing down your answer in a journal, if you have one, on your phone, doesn't matter where, on a piece of paper, doesn't matter. The second step, and this is an important one, is you need to forgive yourself for feeling that thought, okay? Because what happens is that when we have a negative thought, we end up getting stuck in that negative thought for quite some time. So then it's like we feel bad for feeling bad. And then we feel bad for feeling bad for feeling bad. And then it goes a spiral downwards. And this is something that is really not good for us and what makes the whole thing even more negative. And by the way, when it comes to manifesting, people think that, oh, I'm never supposed to be negative in any way, or I'm never supposed to have any negative thoughts. That's not true. Like, we're allowed to experience fear, we're allowed to experience sadness. But the problem is when we are sad about being sad or angry about being sad, it's the second thing that is attached to the first emotion that stops the manifestation. I'm just going to mute you guys because I just heard myself double. That it's the second emotion that is attached to the first emotion that stops the manifestation and that makes us go spiral. So if we just sit with ourselves and we're just like, wow, what is this thought? And the second, and we just experience it, and we're like, wow, I'm sad. I'm sad that my father is sick right now. I'm really sad about that. And then the second step is I forgive myself for that thought. It's like, it's okay to be sad that my dad is sick. This is absolutely okay and normal. I'm his daughter. I'm allowed to be sad about that. And I forgive myself for being sad about this. This is okay to feel this way. And I thank the thought for revealing to me what I don't want so that I can clarify what I do want. So that means the thought for me, I thank it and I say, I'm so happy that I'm experiencing this sadness for my dad's illness, because what I actually want is to create amazing memories with my dad as long as he's still around. And I want to create, experiences with him. I want to laugh with him. I want to talk to him. And I don't want to spend my time being sad about the fact that he's sick, right? So I forgive myself, and I'm grateful for the fact that I'm sad, because it makes me realize, hey, actually, this is not what I want. Actually, what I want is right? And the third step is choose again. Choose again, and this is the strategy, how Gabby calls it, it's a choose again method. And that is, what is the best feeling thought that I can find right now? So the best feeling thought that you can find right now is, what is a better choice? How can I replace the thought that I have with a new, better thought? And sometimes we'll be able to get our energy from here to here, and sometimes we'll be able to get our energy from here to here. And at the beginning, that's hard. So you need to give yourself a little bit of time to process that. For me, because I've practiced this so much, for me, it's quite easy to go from here to here relatively quickly. Like, I'm able to shift energy fairly fast. Like I said, just with the illness of my father, for example, because I'm like, yes, I'm sad, but I'm able to transform it so quickly, because I'm like, hey, I can spend all this time being sad, or I can spend this time like looking forward to the time that I still have with him. And the better feeling thought is, I have, like, the time we have left, I have this opportunity to create amazing experiences with him, and to give him the opportunity to create amazing experiences on his own, and to make this journey of him losing the capacity of his brain as good as I possibly can, and as fun for him as I possibly can, right? So that for me is the better feeling thought. Instead of being sad, I choose a better feeling thought. So once again, first step, be aware of it, notice it, okay? Notice what is it. Second step, forgive yourself for feeling that thought, and be grateful for the fact that this thought came up. And step 3, choose again. Choose again a better feeling energy, a better feeling thought. What can you replace that thought with? And when it comes up, because at the beginning, when we don't have practice for this, what happens is that this thought or this energy, like, it'll stick around for a little while. It'll stick around for a day or two, right? Sometimes even longer. The bigger the thing is, it will stick around for a little bit longer. At the beginning, when I got the diagnosis for my father, it took me a while in order to process this. So of course, the energy around it was big. So it took me a couple of times in order to process the energy and go from here to here. Now I'm faster, right? Now, every time it comes up, I'm faster to switch. So this is a really, really powerful tool. And I want you to just like see if you can apply it to something today. So that is your homework, is just to write down the process somewhere where you can easily find it. Okay, so in your notebook, on your table, on your computer, on your phone, like have it somewhere where you can easily and quickly access it, so that when these things come up, that you can process them fairly quickly. And the second thing is that it would be good if today, if you notice something, of course, if there's nothing coming up, don't use it. But if there's something coming up and you're like, oof, this is a negative emotion right here, I doubt that anybody goes through their entire 24 hours without ever experiencing a negative emotion. I think that's impossible, even for the super gurus and super high level people. We all have that. It is absolutely normal. So I would recommend that you just try that process once on yourself, right? Once on yourself and see, how can I replace this? How can I use the choose again method to replace this step? All right, so that was it for me for today. Do you guys have any questions? No? Okay, all right. Are you feeling better with this? You feel comfortable with this? Yeah, okay. Good, great. I'm really happy to hear that. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, guys. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, back tomorrow. And those of you watching the replay, I also wish you a wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Ciao, bye-bye.
Bye.